Well, last year, an LA artist had an idea for a simple tribute to each COVID victim, a single red felt rose. Little did he know how many roses would be needed. The result, the Rose River Memorial, an ongoing art installation honoring the hundreds of thousands of lives lost and expressing our collective grief.
Yeah, so here's a tray of roses that was sent to me from Covina, and so we're including them in the Orange County installation. Each one of these nets has 250 roses. When I started the project in August, there was about 180,000 deaths, I think, and now there's more than 500,000. I think one thing that's difficult for people to envision is how many people have died from COVID. We know technically that 500,000 people have died from COVID, but what does 500,000 look like? So I think it shows people just the enormity of what we've been through. I like the idea of roses because it's a symbol that's used in the US a lot in funerals, and they're used to symbolize courage and valor. Every rose has a beautiful value to it. We make these small kits, so you have enough felt and enough glue and instructions to make 8 roses, and these are sent to, let's say, a school. The school distributes the kits, and then 3 or 4 days later we do a Zoom session where all the kids get online and I do a kind of crafting workshop. You cut a square of felt like this and you make a circle. Then here's the kind of magic bit. You draw a spiral and then you cut it out and you put like little dabs of glue along the inside edge, and then you just start rolling. You keep the roll on the inside edge and then you keep rolling, and then I'm going to put a big blob over here in the middle, which is the base. And then you just simply put the base on like that, almost like a teacup and a saucer. So there's a rose. So the project started off with an installation in East Los Angeles at a place called Self-Help Graphics. And so we put up the first memorial there, and each rose symbolized a death in the community. So that community was delineated as Boyle Heights and unincorporated East LA, which is a relatively small area. Then after that, we went and did a project in Building Bridges Art Exchange, which is in Santa Monica. So we set up an installation there with a rose for each of the deaths on the west side. What was striking about that was how many more people died in the small area in the east side than the huge area on the west side. So we're now moving out of the Los Angeles area towards, in this case, Orange County, where we're doing an installation. So we're bringing the installation, it's almost like a river, as in Rose River. So it's a river that comes from the entrance to the museum, and then it kind of flows along here, along this pergola, and then it will flow down the facade of the museum down that way.
I have 9 roses here that have tags on them. Do what you can do, you know. Some people write a check, some people make roses, and I happen to work a lot with my hands,
So these are some notes from rose makers that made roses for the Orange County installation, and you can see that they're just very grateful for the project taking place, for the acknowledgement of what people have been through, what families have been through, the anguish, the anxiety, the grief. A lot of people think that artists just, you know, let's say make a painting or a sculpture and then it goes into a gallery and then it's bought and that's it. But I think artists today, you know, need to engage more in the community and you know, be a bit more activist in terms of what's going on. And creativity is so important. It's all the more important today in our society because there's so many new things going on. The only way to engage with how things change is to try to find creative ways of moving through things.
The Rose River Memorial has expanded across the country with other installations in St. Louis and South Texas. And it's not over yet. Marcus still needs help making roses. If you're interested in contributing to the project, visit roseriver.memorial to learn more.